Every time I make a post celebrating women leaving their MAGA husbands, I get a whole bunch of comments like these. But guess what? I'm still married. I've been married for over 16 years, and I'm happily married. But you know what? Not everyone is in a good marriage. It's actually wonderful that women are able to leave their shithead partners. So yeah, I'm going to celebrate when women have the financial means and the ability to leave the partners that are financially abusive, that are lazy slackers, that basically are an extra child in their marriage. Just because I'm married doesn't mean I'm not going to celebrate divorce. Actually, being married and choosing to stay married is exactly why I do celebrate divorce. Because if you are miserable, if you are in a bad position, if you are stuck because you financially don't have the means to leave, and you are able to then find a way to get out of that place, I am going to celebrate you every single day. And just take a look at the comments on this post of mine, and, male loneliness epidemic, I'm not really surprised.
The same crowd that preaches personal responsibility is mad that women are taking personal responsibility. Financial abuse is real. Being trapped in a marriage because you literally cannot afford to leave is not a lifestyle choice. It's a cage. Getting out of that cage deserves respect, not shame. But when a woman actually exercises her independence, suddenly it's an attack on family values. Meanwhile, the husband she's leaving was, by her own description, a lazy slacker and an extra child in the house. Great values, King, really holding it down.
Really? Women on the left, this is for you. I saw something today that I just cannot believe that I'm seeing. So you have a new strategy, the women on the left. And that strategy apparently is that you are now going to target MAGA marriages, and you are going to seduce our MAGA husbands and break up our marriages.
She turned her marriage into a fortress, complete with a drawbridge, a moat, and absolute certainty that no enemy could breach the walls. The confidence is, something. But here's what's wild. She's more threatened by this than she's letting on. Because if she truly wasn't worried, she wouldn't be making the video. Just keep watching. We meet some of these untemptable husbands later. On Grindr. Headless. Please be discreet.
Really? I don't think so, Sweet Pea. I hate to say it, but you can't really compare the two female groups. You want to be nasty? Apparently you do want to be nasty. So as a woman, MAGA, Trump supporter, married to a man for 35 years who's also a Trump MAGA supporter, you don't even stand a chance. Maybe if you were a little bit more concerned about yourself and to be gentle here and not a real crass bee with an itch, maybe your appearance?
She went there, unprompted, mid-political argument. Just maybe your appearance. So the entire counter-argument is my husband won't cheat because I'm prettier than you. That's the framework. That's the debate tactic. Not policy, not values. A beauty pageant she crowned herself the winner of. And what's really wild is she's supposed to be defending conservative values, dignity, modesty, class. But the second she felt challenged, it immediately went to looks. That's not confidence. That's insecurity wearing a red hat.
I might take what you have to say with a little bit more seriousness, but oh, honey. Not even close. You're completely and totally outdone, and it's really a futile opportunity. It's just not going to happen. You see, because most of the men And this is most because, there's bad apples in every bunch. Most men in the MAGA movement have conservative values. And those conservative values generally start with their vows to their wives. Just some food for thought. You don't need to waste your time, because it's just not going to happen.
This is the first time I've ever done this, worn a red Trump hat at the bar. So I was a little, nervous. I want LGBTQ conservatives to come out of the closet.
You can start with the ones that crash Grindr at the RNC, but please continue.
Recently, a guest entered the bar wearing MAGA attire, which led to discomfort among some patrons. And moving forward, MAGA-related attire will not be allowed in the venue. Barasa took this photo of himself inside Badlands Friday night and believes Badlands' new rule is because of him. He says he was in the bar for an hour and he was the one made to feel uncomfortable.
So now you know what it feels like to be uncomfortable.
Phil ended him in one sentence and didn't even raise his voice. Because that's the whole thing, right? This guy walked into a gay bar wearing a hat that represents a political movement actively trying to strip that community of legal protections and expected a warm welcome. That's not bravery. That's not coming out as a conservative. That's just being deliberately provocative and then performing victimhood when it doesn't land. Private business. Dress code. You love that argument when it suits you. Funny how different it feels on the other foot.
And no, not everything is about you. And since your party is the one that's actually getting rid of all the DEI initiatives, you're upset that you're not being included in that space anymore, correct? But here's the thing, political affiliations are not a protected class. But let's see what his friend has to say.
This is discrimination, plain and simple.
No, not really. It's actually a private business just enforcing a dress code. And I believe you guys would be the ones that would actually advocate for a baker to refuse a same-sex couple a cake. At the same time, you guys are upset that a private business is enforcing their own personal beliefs because they don't believe in what you stand for. And now you're in the find out portion of the F around part. But honestly, I think a lot of us know why you wore that hat to the bar, because you were trying to get attention in some way.
Actions have consequences. Votes have consequences. The people saying don't like it, start your own business, are now furious that a business enforced their own policy. The poetry writes itself. But let's be real about why he wore that hat to that specific bar. It wasn't political courage, it was attention seeking. And the frustrating part is it worked, because now we're all talking about it.
And I can understand why people are upset with you, because you basically voted and aligned yourself with the party that's basically trying to harm members of the community by legislating against them. And also members that voted the same way as you did in certain red states are trying to get marriage equality up to the Supreme Court to get it overturned. So I can see why people are mad at you. But anyways, comment and let me know what you think. And my name is Phil, and please follow me if you like what I post. Thank you.
I went viral yesterday because I posted this NBC Gen Z poll that was crazy. But quite a few people commented that women who voted for Harris and men who voted for Trump were polar opposites. So I stitched them to be interpartisan and intergender, and let's go through them all now. Okay, for interpartisan, women who voted for Trump versus men who voted for Trump. Their top priority is financial independence. Their bottom priority is able to retire early, make family and community proud. For Gen Z men who voted for Trump, their top priority is having children and financial independence. Their bottom priority is the ability to retire early and have emotional stability. It seems like interpartisan, for conservative men and women, they do not have the same values at all. All right, now Gen Z women who voted for Harris versus Gen Z men who voted for Harris. This is interesting. Women who voted for Harris, top choices were fulfilling job career, having money to do things that they wanted, emotional stability, and their bottom was being married and having children. For men, their top was fulfilling job career, having money to do the things that they want, using talent and resources to help others. Their bottom was ability to retire early and being grounded spiritually. While they share almost the same top priorities, the difference lies in the bottom part. You can see that men care more about making their family proud than focusing on spiritual grounding, which shows that they lack some healing. Whereas there is a little bit more balance between making family proud and community proud and being grounded spiritually with women.
Bro actually did the research, and the numbers are saying something nobody wants to hear out loud. Conservative men's top priority, having children. Conservative women's top priority, financial independence. And their bottom priority, being married and having children. That is not alignment. That is a values gap, living inside the same household, wearing matching hats, pretending everything is fine. The radical left isn't breaking up MAGA marriages. The men and women inside those marriages don't actually want the same things, and no amount of political solidarity fixes that when it shows up at the dinner table every single night. The data doesn't lie. It just makes people uncomfortable enough to ignore it.
Now let's look at intergender between women who voted for Trump and women who voted for Harris. Women who voted for Trump's top 4: financial independence, fulfilling job and career, owning a home, being grounded spiritually. Their bottom: able to retire early, making family and community proud. Damn. Women who voted for Harris: fulfilling job, career, having money to do things that they want, having emotional stability, and using talents and resources to help others. Their bottom is being married and having children. There's actually a lot of differences in these charts. I'll let y'all talk about that in the comments. By the way, my name is Rasha. I study psychology in UCLA and computer science, whatever. And then I work on my own astrology startup. That doesn't matter. Give me a follow because I talk about this stuff all the time, and y'all didn't follow me last time. Finally, men who voted for Trump versus men who voted for Harris. As we've seen, men who voted for Trump, having children, financial independence, fulfilling job and career, and being married were their top choices, whereas retiring early and emotional stability and using talent and resources for others were at their bottom. For men who voted for Harris, top: fulfilling job, career, using money to do things you want, using talents and resources to help others, financial independence, emotional stability is up there too. At the bottom, able to retire early, being grounded spiritually. It's clear here that men think about career and financial success, but it does look like men who voted for Harris care more about community, morals, and ethics, and doing careers around that, whereas men who care about this are very focused on their family. Let me know what you think about all of these charts. It is so fascinating. There are so many ways to look at this, so analyze them and give me your opinion. And don't forget to follow. Come on.
People in the MAGA movement are narcissists. That's why Donald Trump and his administration resonate so much with them. Because when they see Donald Trump and his administration, they see themselves. That's also why they can't just admit that they're bad people, because narcissists don't see themselves as bad people. They see themselves as the ultimate victim. Like that's what they live in. That's the reality they live in, is eternal victimhood.
She said eternal victimhood, and honestly, the psychology is right. How do you simultaneously believe you're the strongest, most patriotic group in the country, and that everyone is constantly conspiring against you? Immigrants stealing jobs, women emasculating you, media lying to you, government controlling you. That's not strength. That is an exhausting way to exist. And the cognitive dissonance point she makes is real. You can watch someone deny something you literally just saw them do, completely straight-faced, because admitting fault simply isn't an available option in that mental framework. It's not stupidity, it's a coping mechanism. A really, really destructive one.
And they live within this cognitive dissonance. And if you don't know what cognitive dissonance is, it's almost like when the reality outside of your mind is different from what your brain is deciding as the truth, right? So that's exactly what they push, right? So like all of us who are just normal people and not sociopaths or narcissists are just like, wow, these people are they're lying constantly. But narcissists love to feed into this cognitive dissonance. Like, they'll steal a cookie in front of your face and say, I didn't take anything. And they expect you to believe it. They're all narcissists.
I went to a Mexican restaurant with my parents, my son, my husband over the weekend. And there's just all these MAGA-looking people in there. And I thought, you've got a lot of fucking nerve coming in here. Coming into this Mexican restaurant where every single waiter, obviously English was their second language, served with a smile. They run a great little local business, and Oklahoma City is a better place because of these hard-working immigrants that come in here. But I cannot imagine the horror they feel when they are driving to and from work, when they might have a hearing on their legal status. I can't imagine the people who've already been taken from their lives. Right. And to see these fat ass, pink arm, teeny weeny, beta pricks with their ugly ass wives walk into this Mexican restaurant and sit down and smile and be friendly. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel. Quit watching NBA basketball. Quit watching sports that are dominated by African Americans. Quit going to Mexican restaurants. You want white culture? You go fucking live in it. You live in it, bathe in it, go to do all the white culture stuff, get your Bible thump on, go get in the dunk tank at the mega church after you watch your mega preacher drive off in his Rolls Royce, and then go, to the shooting range and go shoot shit. But do not participate in any of the shit that makes America cool. And what makes America cool is multiculturalism. And if you want to triple Trump, and you want to browbeat DEI, and you want to browbeat gay people, and you want to browbeat black people, as you've been doing for 400 years. And you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes. You want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit.
I voted conservative.
Of course you did.
The craziest thing has happened to me a few weeks ago, and I really feel the need to share it from the position of a very pissed off conservative Christian woman.
I mean, is there any other kind?
I almost died. I almost died because I was denied medical care here in Iowa after being diagnosed with a fatal fetus. So my baby was not going to make it. There was no chance of it. We got multiple opinions. No chance. No chance. Shortly after that, my health started to rapidly decline, and I was not able to seek care in a timely manner or nearly at all. I was told to miscarry at home or wait it out or ask Google what to do when I asked where could I go for a resolution to my problem. So I had a fetus in me that's poisoning me from the inside out. I have 3 healthy, lovely children at home, a business to run, a husband, and I'm not allowed to choose me? Where's the pro-life in that? Pro-life, like, choose me, choose the mother. We're completely forgetting the mother in this situation.
No, we didn't forget the mother in this situation. You did when you voted the way you did. You voted for this. Are you asking for sympathy? Because newsflash, my sympathy cup has runneth fucking dry, bone dry.
That line lands like concrete, and I have genuine compassion for what she went through medically. A non-viable pregnancy, being turned away, told to ask Google. That is terrifying, and it should not happen to anyone. But the I didn't think it would happen to me part? People were screaming this for decades, not hypothetically. Specifically, they described exactly this scenario: a wanted pregnancy, a medical emergency, a mother being turned away. It wasn't abstract. It was always going to be somebody's wife, somebody's mom. And the hardest truth here is, sympathy and accountability aren't mutually exclusive. You can feel for her and acknowledge that this was the entirely predictable outcome of the vote she cast. Both things are true.
For people like you who voted for this, knowing full well what we have been screaming from fucking mountaintops for decades. You were never gonna be the exception. We have been screaming this, that this is exactly what happens when these laws are enacted. That they don't prioritize a mother or a pregnant person. They always prioritize the fetus, even if that fetus isn't viable. These laws aren't about protecting life. They never fucking were. Also, say the word. You needed an abortion to take care of, what did you call it? Oh yeah, your problem? It's called an abortion. That's what you needed. And you were denied that care, exactly as you voted for.
MAGA men are on Grindr. They are. There's not a lot of places for a trans woman to go when she's, looking for dates or looking for fun. So I checked out Grindr, and yeah, I can confirm. Married too. A lot of married MAGA men. They're on the DL, and yeah, they don't show you their picture right away. It's just like a torso and it's headless. And then when you ask for their face, they're just like, "Well, I'm discreet. I hope you know." And then it's like you talk some more, and it's like, "Oh, you're married? Oh, okay." And then just for fun, I'm like, "Who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for?" And it's always like, I'm not really big into politics, really.
Not really big into politics. On Grindr, married, headless torso pic. Please be discreet. This is the perfect ending. Genuinely perfect. Because it ties every single thread of this video into one bow. The guy defending traditional marriage, not practicing it. The guy who voted for policies targeting the LGBTQ+ community is in that community, just quietly, on a Thursday night, asking someone not to say anything. The politics you voted for are very, very big into you, brother, whether you acknowledge it or not. So what just happened? A MAGA wife turned a political argument into a beauty contest. A man in a red hat got surprised by consequences. A woman faced the exact policy she voted for. And married MAGA men are on Grindr claiming they're not into politics. Here's what connects all of it. When identity replaces actual values, the contradictions don't disappear. They just go underground, into the data gaps, the denied care, the headless Grindr profiles, the rage at a Mexican restaurant, The boycott isn't coming from some outside enemy. It's the natural result of choices that were made loudly, proudly, and with zero anticipation of consequences. Like, subscribe, and drop your take below. See you next time.